and just, talking to other people, networking. We all use social media for, entertainment, but use it to build your brand, use it to help you enhance. So what we've done is we've, talked to different editors. You reach out, you sought out the editors, the publishers, the graphic designers. We do everything on our own. So I think it's very possible to do it, just it's expensive, but in time consuming, but you can do it yourself.
To the microphone, I want them to hear you too.
My suggestion, first step, get some feedback on it from people who love books, love to read a lot of books. They'll be able to tell you if what you have is something that they would be interested in, and whether or not you should hurry up and do something with it. And they'll push you, and they'll urge you, and they'll bug you until you get it on in a book.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think you shouldn't be afraid of rejection.
Okay.
And a lot of people are afraid of the unknown. So, just push it out there, and hopefully everybody's saying the same thing about your product. So if everybody's saying it's bad, it probably is bad. So if everybody's saying it's a good book, and they believe in it, they believe in your story, you got something. So just push forward.
Yeah. My advice would be, if you are looking to publish with a publisher and you only have an idea of wanting to do just one book, let that be known. Because a lot of times people come into the business and they think that they're going to get rich from that first book. Now, it can be possible because some people have done it, but then they also have a lot of people that back them. They have that name to carry them. But if you don't have a name and you coming into this industry as an independent author, or you looking to sign with a big name, you got to know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you get into it. It's a lot of things that come along with this industry. When it's dealing with money, it's no different than a music industry or anything involved in money. So when you coming into this, know that this is what you want to do. If you just want to do a book, I would say that you self-publish that book, but don't waste a publisher's time, because it's a lot that goes along with this, and it's a lot of time and money that's invested in just getting your books out there. So that would be my suggestion to authors.
All right. And if, let's say I have a book and I've sold it hand to hand at like festivals and places, or out of back of my car, and I'm making a little bit of traction, and then these publishers are coming at me. And they're like, Jeremy, your book about apples is amazing. We want to don't laugh. We want to sell your book about apples. How do I know I'm signing a good deal? What should I look for? What shouldn't? But how do I research? I don't even know how.
You have to go, okay, every company that's official, they should have a website. If they don't have a website, they have to have, you should be able to Google them and find their company. It'll have the address, it'll have everything exactly about that company. You can go to the Better Business Bureau and make sure that there's no complaints filed against them, because most of the time, if they have complaints, there's something wrong with that company. If it's one or two, many comments, it's a problem.
Okay, I just want to say, if you get a contract, I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's Kensington, get an entertainment lawyer and let them read it line by line, because we're writers, we're not lawyers, unless we have some lawyers who turn writers. Get somebody to read it, spend the money, make the investment, and go from there. Don't try to figure it out on your own, because you don't want to tie yourself up in a situation and then you finish writing the book and all of a sudden everything belongs to somebody else. Make sure you get an attorney to read, an entertainment attorney to read it.
And to piggyback on what she said, if you have a number of publishers clamoring to give you a contract, I suggest finding an agent, because they're going to negotiate to get themselves a high share. So you negotiating on your own to a contract that's thrown at you, you don't even know the value. Being a brand new writer, you don't even know the potential value that you can earn. But if you have an agent, they know their value, so they're going to know your value.
I want to share my story. I did have a publishing company, but I own the majority of my book. All they own is the distribution, and I can leave whenever I want to. I had a lot of success with my book early on because I produced comedy shows and poetry shows throughout America. So I had a base already. Just so happened, I was speaking at a high school event, and I met a psychology professor at a local school in Houston. And they have 11 campuses, 90,000 plus students. They adopted the book into their curriculum. So now, of course, the publishing company, they have high interest to buy it outright. So with every offer, I ask myself, What are you offering me that I can't do myself? And so only you know that. You know, I received the advice about the attorney, but no one knows you better than you.
That's right.
And like you said, they're gonna make sure they get theirs, but make sure you get yours. This book, in particular, it's my first, and it's a lot about myself and my family. One day, when I die, the value will probably go very high. And I would love for my children and my grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren to receive the benefits of the book, not a publishing company. So there's no amount of money they could ever offer me to buy it.
Right.
All right. And yeah, you can give it up. That's right. Don't be shy. And let's say I have a book and I'm going to do this independently. I'm going to get this pressed up. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to make it work because I want to get all the profits, do what I can. How would I market it? If I didn't have a big company behind me, what are some creative ways I can market? If I don't have the money to hire some big publicist or someone to come in and do it, what can I do?
You got social media.
What?
You got social media.
Yep.
They have book clubs. There's thousands of book clubs on Facebook that you can post. You got Instagram, you got Twitter. Now it's so important, like the things that the authors back in the days that paved the way for us to be here, they didn't have all these social tools where they really had to go out there in the streets, stand out there, promote themselves. Now we have different social sites where we can do this. Or you can sit at home and post in all these groups, and people, it's thousands of people in these book clubs. And you get the notary just by doing that.
Do you think that's comparable to hiring a publicist to do it?
Sometimes you don't need to hire anybody. Why sit there and spend money when you can do things yourself? If you learn everything, like I said, Google, you can learn just about how to do anything. Anything you can learn how to do. So why try to keep your money in your pocket and try to invest in yourself by doing it yourself? Learning it, because if this is something that you have a passion for, you're going to sit there and you're going to find the time to invest in watching everything, learning everything, talking to people to learn how to do things yourself. Nobody's going to promote you the way you can promote yourself. Nobody's going to sell your work the way that you can sell yourself. I have a promoter, but when she promotes my book and people ask her about my book, she can't answer. So she'll tag me in the post. That's why I say I'd rather do it myself, because nobody's going to sell my work the way I will.
All right.
And also, the thing is this, if I have my book and I give it to my literary sister to sell also, the thing is this, that's not the name, you know what I mean? They want to talk to the person, you're going to get a better response when you're pushing your own work, because when I'm out there pushing my books, I'm talking to people and I'm signing these books, we taking pictures, we busting it up, we doing, I'm making things, you have to make things happen, and you can't be afraid, you cannot be scared to talk to people, you have to get out there and let people know who you are. That's why I'm here today. I'm from Pennsylvania. Harrisburg is a very small city, but I'm in New York. I'm going to be, where are we going next? South Carolina. We doing what we got to do.
All right. Anyone else want to jump in? Sure.
So, how many urban fiction writers do we have in here?
Urban fiction, she said? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not just urban.
So like urban fiction, the market is huge. The competition is fierce. I don't know how to tell you what to do specifically to get any leverage, but you have to think outside of the box. So me personally, I like the book trailer concept, which there's a lot of book trailers. You get the still images or whatever. But I decided to take the characters in my book and use the cinematic trailer approach, which is a movie-like presentation of the trailer. And for my second book, which is coming out in January, I already have 200,000 views on this trailer.
Amen.
And so hopefully the views will turn into book sales. I don't know. And so even, I'm just trying to sell books, but now I have people talking about, short films. So I don't know, you just have to think outside of the box, find something and expand it, expand the idea. Yeah.
One of the biggest tools that I've had is the word of mouth from the people. With the students, they all have to do an essay over the book, and they submit them, and I get a copy. So some of the things they say about the book, I share on social media. Of course, they love it because they think I'm famous, so now I'm putting their words out there. So they tell their friends. And so for in the last year or so, Instagram. My Instagram is crazy with students, you know, and no one talks more than the youth. I mean, if they like you, they're gonna tell their friends, and so that has been a very, very big instrumental tool for me.
Also, marketing, promotion, publicity, and sales realize that they are all different and they take a different energy and a different focus. So if that's not your focus, make sure you find somebody who that is their focus and you give them a couple of dollars to help you get things moving. Because you can try to wear every hat, but you only have but so much energy, so much time, so much money. So focus your energy where it goes best and focus your money where it goes best and let it all work for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about your support system. And if you're as good as the people around you, so you got to get out there and get the right people around you, the positive people that's going to believe in what you want to do, and you'll make it. But you got to do what works for you at the end of the day.
And then, oh, sorry. To wrap, like, you know, he was saying, you know, word of mouth, I think most of my book sales has come from word of mouth. And because I was on a large college campus, I've gotten a lot of sales because people would just talk about it. And all it took was like 3 of my good friends to say, y'all should read this book. They wouldn't, because my name is not the same on my books. They're like, they don't even know who it is. So for me, it's like they don't even know Nichelle Dior goes to this school because my name is Sierra. They just think this is some book they found in the bookstore, but little do they know it's the girl who's actually your RA who wrote this book. And I've gotten a lot of sales because of that.
See, that's right. That's right. You can give it up. Yes, that's powerful. Making the game work for you. No, that's some important points. You know, and also I'm going to ask the audience for some questions. I have a few more, just so if you have anything in your mind, start thinking of it right now. If you want to sound really smart, make the question good. You know, things like that. But while I have all of you up here, I'm asking some random questions, just so you know. Since becoming an author, what's something you learned about yourself? Gotcha.
I'm a whole lot more resilient than I thought I was. There's a lot of rejection, a lot of disappointment, and then there's also like, there's a toss-up between this euphoric, just happy, and then rejection. And it could happen in the same day. Your disappointment biggest and your greatest elation all in the same day. So it's